How's it going, everyone? Got quite a lot to talk about in this video. Bit of an update on PlayStation Plus as the titles for July, the Essential games that is, are rolling out right now. We talked about it earlier today, but first, Descendant also has some content rolling out for it and for PlayStation Plus, so you can check that out. On top of that, a notable demo just dropped recently, so I do want to give you guys a heads up on that. But right off the top, the PlayStation Plus monthly titles for the month of July have officially dropped. This includes NHL 24, which I know you guys have just been fiending for. Did the Stanley Cup just happen? I think the Stanley Cup just happened. Yo, honestly, from their standpoint of dropping these sports games, I feel like they do a good job of dropping the sports games when something relevant happens in regard to that sport. I might be totally making it up. I have never been a hockey fan. I am pretty sure the Stanley Cup, however, did happen, so pat on the back to your boy for knowing that. Among Us is available, so, you know, one of the more notable multiplayer titles in recent memory. It's an enjoyable game if you have a couple friends to play with. Among Us is definitely a good time to kill some time, and I think you can have a good time with that. It's just, at this point, I feel like most of you guys have at least played it in some form, but nevertheless, that is available as a Plus Essential title, and the most notable game is definitely Borderlands 3. Now, you are getting the base game. Borderlands 3 does have quite a bit of downloadable content, so keep that in mind. But you know, while Borderlands 3 was definitely not the Borderlands game that I really enjoyed, I do think Borderlands peaked with Borderlands 2, and I've said that at this point probably ad nauseum, and you guys are probably tired of me saying that, but Borderlands 3, like, from a gameplay standpoint, if you like the Borderlands gameplay loop, you are still going to enjoy Borderlands 3. Like, it is going to be a good time and a game that you are ultimately gonna have some fun with. You know, for me, like, I don't know if Borderlands can do something to really revitalize my interest. Like, I had my fun with Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and even pre-sequel, and I just feel like, you know, the franchise was at a very, very high level at that point, and you know, it's been quite a while since Borderlands 3 came out, back in 2019, I want to say, and we got Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, but I thought that game was pretty terrible. I know that I'm in the minority of thinking that game was terrible, but I really did not like that game whatsoever. But Borderlands 3 was certainly still a fine game, just didn't really capture me like Borderlands 2 did, but if you like the gameplay loop, like, you're still gonna dig it, and co-op focus with Borderlands as well. Obviously, with that being a Plus title, you know, your boys have Plus, y'all can jump in together and have a good time with its cooperative play. Speaking of cooperative play, like I said, First Descendant is officially out today, and that game does have free Plus content as well. I see a lot of people bugging out over the microtransactions in that game. It is a free-to-play game from Nexon. I'm not defending it, but, like, yo, it is a free-to-play game from Nexon. Like, you knew that it was gonna be a little bit wild, and you know, how they're layering, buying the Descendants themselves. Obviously, you can get the currency by playing the game, but, you know, the microtransaction layers that are in the game are a little bit out there. The gameplay loop seems to be enjoyable. Obviously, it's going to be something that we're going to have a better idea of how it's going to turn out once we start seeing the content updates roll out. Once Season 1 really kicks off, we're in preseason right now, and we're going to be in preseason for 2 months, but they have a battle pass out, they have unlockables, everything like that, and obviously the end game. The end game is going to be a big layer too. The investment level that people are going to have in the long term. But yeah, that game's got some free content with your Plus subscription as well. The base game, obviously, totally free to play. And yeah, microtransactions, just be prepared for that. And like I said, you know, play the game, even if you're only playing it as the one Descendant. Try to unlock the others, and don't be spending money until, you know, you understand whether or not this is a game that you're going to be invested into for the long term. That's just how I would recommend handling it. Moving on from that, we've also got a free demo for Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess. This is a brand new IP coming from Capcom, not getting a lot of attention, but I definitely think this should be on your radar. A new tale of the Kami awaits. This is the demo version of Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess, a unique Japanese-inspired single-player Kagura action strategy game. This demo allows you to play some of the stages of the main game as many times as you like without a time limit. Some aspects may differ from those of the full version. This is a game that's going to be priced at $49.99, so a little bit interesting in that regard. And again, not getting a lot of buzz, not getting a lot of attention from Capcom, but love this setting, love the stylization of the game as well. The game takes place on a mountain covered by defilement. During the day, purify the villages and prepare yourself for sundown. During the night, protect the maiden against the hordes of the Seath. Now, it does seem like to have an interesting gameplay dichotomy to it as well. Repeat the day and night cycles until you've cleansed the mountain of defilement and return peace to the land as well. Unique Japanese-inspired world. The setting is Mount Kafuku, a mountain covered in defilement. The game offers a taste of Japanese culture, including Kagura dance, mass, as well as the music that plays in the background. The soundtrack, as we would say. The Seath emerge from the Torii Gates to the other world when the sun sets. Whenever I think about Torii Gates, I remember Ghostwire Tokyo, but nevertheless, you got Torii Gates here as well. This enemy, which has a variety of different abilities, attacks at night under the cover of darkness, targeting the maiden. The director's ideas and attention to detail have been packed into the design that presents the setting of the game. Exhilarating sword dance action as well. The main character, So, wields a sword to protect the maiden of the Mount Yoshiro as she confronts the Seath. Do not be intimidated by the enemy's array of attacks and slay them with a dance-like sword attack. A fusion of action and strategy. So's battles are not fought alone, but with the help of villagers who have been bestowed roles. What placements and roles will be most effective? Where will the villagers fight, and which enemies will So focus on? Constant changes during the battle will test your strategy and tactics. Purify the Torii Gates of the defilement. If you can survive the Seath attacks until dawn and lead Yoshiro to a Torii Gate while the sun is still up, you can purify it with her Kagura dance and restore peace to the mountain villages. I don't imagine that this game is going to get a wealth of attention and a ton of buzz around it. Capcom, in my opinion, you know, I don't love every single one of their games that they put out, but comparatively to where they were a decade ago or like 12 years ago, they have made a complete turnaround with all of their IPs, at least their mainstay IPs. Dragon's Dogma 2, Street Fighter 6, Monster Hunter. You look at Mega Man with the various collections, Resident Evil, of course. The thing is, the new IPs that they have put out, you know, stuff like Exoprimal, didn't really click with me, to say the least. And Kunitsugami, however, is a game that's more so up my alley. I'm not, you know, super sold on the strategy aspects to it and the more, you know, non-action elements that the game has, but I'm interested to see how that all complements each other. And if you have any interest in the game, I'd recommend you to check out the demo, and they are pricing it at a lower price point at $49.99, so we'll see how the game turns out. I think it looks quite good, and I think ultimately you might have a pretty good time with it. And they did announce demo and Okami collaboration details. An Okami collaboration campaign is also now live. In the spirit of Kunitsugami Villagers cooperation theme, demo players around the world must cooperate to complete 2 missions, succeed, and all players will receive costumes based on Amaterasu and Waka from Okami, as well as unlocking collab soundtrack for the full game. How about that? You know, Capcom, how about dropping me an Okami 2 as well at some point, but I digress. Maybe they'll one day do that. That'll do it for me. Again, PS Plus rolling out new content, Borderlands 3, NHL 24, Among Us, and on top of that, First Descendant does have some content available with your Plus subscription, and then Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess has a free demo out right now. Go check that out. I think the game looks pretty interesting as a new IP. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.